So, if you are tuned into this separate Football Matters segment, you'll have watched our episode from Monday evening and you'll have realised that there's no Team of the Week this time around. Instead, we're doing something slightly different every single week. This week, it's all about Room 101 with Mark, Ollie and Darren. What would they abolish in football? Now, bearing in mind there is no time limit on this, which is dangerous anyway, considering when there is a time limit with Football Matters, we always go miles over it. So this could take any length of time. So clear your diaries for the day, even the week necessarily. We could be here a while. Let's go into it because I've got the job of choosing which items or which rules go into Room 101. I think each of our pundits are going to select two. Am I right on this? I don't know why. I should know that, really, shouldn't I? And then we'll decide one from each. So, tell you what, let's go with Mark first, because I'm going to go with Ollie last, because I presume he hasn't prepped for this. So, Mark's probably first. Go on then, Mark.
My first one is not really a serious one, but just under 30 years ago, the back pass rule came in. And I don't know if you remember, there was chaos that season afterwards when goalkeepers were going nuts trying to kick the ball or pass it back out and what have you.
Yeah.
But one of the things that happened then was when someone headed the ball back to the goalkeeper, they got a round of applause because it was seen as a new skill. I don't understand why now, 30 years later, we are still applauding someone doing a simple headed back pass to the goalkeeper.
It's technically very hard to execute.
I was just trying to ask one of our former professionals how difficult it was.
I can tell you that because on my first ever game for Newcastle, I headed back to the keeper. I'm sure you remember, Mark. and it was my worst nightmare. Never done a headed back. I don't think I did ever. Headed back again to my keeper.
But I feel like you'd have loved a bit of applause from the crowd, Ollie.
I just think it seems ridiculous that when it is such a basic skill, no offence, Ollie.
It's not as basic as what you say it. It's a tough one.
Darren was nodding. Darren, you agreed, didn't you?
Is it more basic skill for you, Darren, than it was Ollie?
Yeah.
Darren,
I agree, mate. Shock.
There we go.
Not a skill.
That's it. I don't understand why people do it.
Okay, 1-0 for you guys. No problem.
All right, okay. Mark, give us a second. That is a good one. Made slightly better by Ollie. It's a tough skill to do. I'm not commenting.
Are we going to Darren then going round again?
Do you want to do that then? We'll go to you, Darren. What's your first one?
To be fair, I mean, I was with you with the booking of taking the shirts off, but yeah. I think we've got to get out of this whole when these players get tapped on the ankles and they roll about 20 times. I think we've got to take that out of the game. Come on. I mean, they probably injure themselves more by rolling than they do by getting tapped on the ankle.
So here's a serious comment and a serious question off the back of that. Do you now introduce retrospective punishment for play acting?
Just get rid of them.
Get rid of them?
Get sell them. Yeah,
get rid of them.
Sell them.
Is this your application for head of the PFA? This is sensational. What punishment would you hand down for it? Bans or?
Just send them off.
Send them off. Yeah. 3-game ban.
There's no need for it, is there?
No, completely agree.
Some of them do flips and all sorts.
What's the worst you've seen?
I've seen one where done a flip, where they've flipped over and then, but not rolled over, just flipped over with the legs going over the head, and it's just embarrassing, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Ollie Bernard was flexible back in the day, wasn't he?
Very.
Could do all manner of flips and everything. Was that when you were playing, or did you just seen that on the TV?
On the TV.
Darren?
No.
Or was that
it's got worse.
You were playing in?
It's got worse, hasn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, it has got much worse. When was this then that you witnessed that?
Well, I witnessed it at the Riverside with Janino.
Right.
Little Janino. I put a tackle in and he kept rolling. To be fair, I was going to throw him a life jacket in case he rolled into the river.
And to think, I thought it was going to be difficult to press you for names and examples, but straight in there with Nino.
Yeah, the little fella.
Is it worth?
To be fair, I once saw a terrible one where this guy got hit in the face with a ball and he was like stumbling around and then fell backwards like in a comedy fashion.
Shocking that, mate.
I've never seen that, actually.
Me too.
No.
Send me the
You
link.
didn't see it, mate. You didn't see it coming at all.
Send me the link. Nah, I don't know. Send me the link,
And you
please.
can share the YouTube clip.
YouTube.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it.
I don't remember at the time.
Just no. I don't remember it. What year was that?
Around 2004, I think.
It must be a long time ago because blackout. I can't remember it. Sorry.
16 years, mate. That's a lifetime. That's a generation almost. So wouldn't worry. Next time, don't worry. We'll cue a few YouTube clips just for you, Ollie. So we've had rolling round, play acting, good one. We've had marks, obviously, the crowd applauding for headed back passes, unless your name's Olivia Bernard. And Ollie, what's your first one? What's your pet peeve in football that goes into room 101?
Me, for a very, very long time, I never understood why you would go and kiss the manager once he scored.
That's good.
Today should be him next week.
That's one of the things. I always thinking every time I see the player running, what is it? You want to play next week? What is why would you do that?
Did any of your former teammates do it? Which, you know, come on. Darren went with Janino early. I want to hear some names here. What names kissed the manager and you looked at them and went,
no, but he had a smack in the back of his head. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? You know, I crossed the ball for you. You scored and you go and kiss the manager.
You go and kiss the manager.
What's that all about?
You put it on his head.
I do remember Emery did it in Newcastle. He did it with Graham Souness when he scored in the derby.
Honestly, it's mad. It's mad. And you know, various teams done that. And it's just funny. Just looking at it, you're happy for him because he scored. And then all of a sudden it goes in the arm of the manager like, you know, I've done it for you. As a teammate, I'm like, really?
Of all the managers not to do that to, Graham Souness is probably bang up there. You know, I wouldn't know.
No, they had a good they had a good bond with Emery, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
He managed to
Very good bond.
Just interestingly enough, Ollie, off the back of that, what's apart? Let's take kissing the manager out, if you're not going to name names from the players that you played with necessarily. But what's the weirdest celebration that you've kind of witnessed from a teammate?
I can't.
It puts you on the spot.
Put me on the spot there.
Yeah, I know.
No, there's
What's
not that
you've looked
many.
at and gone, what on earth have they just done there?
No,
none.
No.
Anything from you, Janino?
Probably myself, mate.
Running around like a headless chicken. Yeah.
That was Darren playing, wasn't it? I don't know why. People in glass houses really shouldn't throw stones, should they? I don't know why I've come up with that. So
Loa did a few good ones when you were at Newcastle, Ollie.
Yeah, he did, like.
Had a free back flick, front flick, side flick. Yeah, just flicks, but they were all right. They're all right.
Did he practice them in training or not?
He was a gymnast until the age of 10.
Yeah. So he didn't do any practice. He just
all the brothers.
Memory.
All the brothers. There's 3 of them playing football. The 3 can do the somersault and everything. Back flick, front flick, side flick.
What did you think the first time you saw him do that?
Done it at training. I tried to do it, but I couldn't complete it, unfortunately. I ended up on my back more often than not. Flat back. I had sore back, and I decided now I'm gonna keep to the high jump.
We still following.
Any walk of life. I would have paid good money to see you attempt a backflip, Ollie. I would have paid good money for it. I'll search YouTube as soon as we stop recording.
I'll tell you what, one clip opposite of kissing the manager or hugging the manager after a goal must be Jimmy Bullard's, where he took the mick out of the manager when he scored.
Manchester City. Oh my God. That was sensational. It was tremendous. But kissing the manager, just thanks, Matt, for bringing us back, because I completely forgot what Ollie's suggestion was there for a second. We went off on a bit of a tangent, which I feel we're going to do in this segment quite a bit. But kissing the manager is very strong. I didn't even think of that, but that does irritate me a little bit. Mark, your second one.
Well, you need to pick one first.
From those three,
I am just a guiding hand of the show now, aren't I?
To be honest, it was you who came up with the idea, mate. I make no bones about the fact I didn't come up with this idea. I still didn't know about this until 5 minutes before we came.
You got nothing on Frank Skinner.
Neither would I profess to. Although, oh my God. Oh, jeez. You know what? I know it's no offence, Darren, it's boring, but I'm going to go with a player. I think it's awful in the game. Each of those have the merits, but if you were to kick one thing out of those three, the heading rule doesn't bother me too much, especially now that I know that Ollie's done it and done it to a certain lesser degree. The kissing of the managers, you don't see that so often these days, but the play acting you see all of the time. I think by logic, play acting goes for me first in Room 101. Was that a better impression of Frank Skinner or Paul Merton or not?
No.
Moving swiftly on, we go round. We go to number 2. Mark, what's your second option?
I feel it's only right that I jump in here, given, Andy, as you know, my missus doesn't like football. She's given us 3, surprisingly.
Yeah, I was going to press you.
One was diving, which we've already kind of covered. The other one was playing spitting.
Spitting.
The third one, which was a little bit more niche, was she hits chants in the crowd that are made out of sort of popular songs in the charts. Yeah, I know.
Any specific examples or not?
No, she didn't. But
right, okay.
Just hate
it.
I know. I couldn't believe it either.
Okay? All right. So off the back of that, Darren and Ollie, when you were playing, what chants did you absolutely hate from the crowd for any club that you were playing for? Was there anything specific that as soon as you heard it in the crowd, you were like, for God's sake, give it a rest, lads and lasses?
Get him off.
You surely didn't experience that too much, did you?
No, not me.
Ollie, any chance?
Like.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
I've seen enough for today.
Should have been played.
Honestly.
This could be really awkward, but did you two guys have chance for you at each club?
Mm.
Or did you say no, this is going to be really awkward now, by the way?
No, I did, but I can't remember what it was. You put me on the spot. I did have one on the.
Where at? At Newcastle.
Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark seems to know something about this. Do you know a chance for Ollie at Newcastle?
No.
Okay. Just
thanks,
really. Google's there for a reason, mate. I'll find something before next week's episode.
Honestly.
Darren, any chant for you?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it was just a standard one of like Super Dazzler Williams like type thing, just something along those lines. But yeah. I don't think, obviously, you know, I wasn't the Kev Phillips or Niall Quinns who had a song every week. You know, so yeah, you kind of get brushed under the carpet a little bit, don't you?
The Niall Quinn one was good though.
His disco pants.
His disco pants, yeah.
That was a sensational one. I remember asking him, I was sitting down in an interview with Niall Quinn years ago now, and I asked him about that chant, and he talked for about 15 or 20 minutes about it.
Oh, yeah, he can talk, yeah.
Did he sing it though?
He was.
What it was.
Right, I'll jump in with my second one because this little segue is just it's given us a chance to remember what it was. I hate it when players don't celebrate against a former club when they score against their former clubs. They say that it's disrespectful if you do, forgetting the fact it's quite disrespectful to your current club because you're not celebrating the goal you scored for them. So that's my second one.
It's a really good point, but you're going to have to make an even stronger case than that.
Make a stronger case for it. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a one. Loire scored for Portsmouth against Newcastle when he was on loan, and he celebrated.
Yeah.
So
that was shocking.
It was. Not as shocking as a decision to allow Portsmouth to play him.
What was shocking about it, Ollie? The fact that he celebrated or the quality of his backflip at the time?
It was the fact that Ollie was meant to be marking him.
Both, to be honest. The fact is, we all knew it was going to score.
I think
how bad it was.
The thing is, though, it's just, that club that you scored for, they're paying your wages week in, week out, and those supporters are paying to watch you week in, week out. Celebrate with them.
I remember Speedo, was it Gary, kicking off? Somebody came out in the dressing room and said, I don't understand how we can make him play proper like Hamadas today. Mm-hmm. Can't remember who it was. But it was a big talk in the dressing room afterwards.
Was it, what happened when Loire, I mean, you presumably seen him again after that. What happened afterwards? Did anyone have a long memory, or was it quickly forgotten about, or not?
No, once he got back, it was fine. Right. But that was the club's fault. To loan him out and not making sure he cost you the 3 points on the day because it was magnificent on the day.
Yeah. Strange experience that, I'm sure, playing against your teammate in a big game in the Premier League. Very, very odd.
I think that's why that law was brought in, where players on loan at other Premier League clubs can't play against a parent club. I'm sure it came because
Loire after Portsmouth Newcastle.
I think so. It wasn't long afterwards that law came in.
I've questioned your knowledge before and I was wrong, so I've learnt my lessons after that. I'm not going to go against you on that one, Mark. That would make perfect sense.
I wouldn't.
That's very, very strong, by the way. And you made a very, very good point about it. So, right, okay, we've got a front runner. Darren, what have you got for number 2?
To be honest, I only thought of one because I thought we were only thinking of one. I didn't know we would.
So it's all right, mate. At least you knew you were thinking of one. I didn't have a clue about this until about 20 minutes ago. So I'll take one. Is there anything that springs to mind that would, like, if you were playing, that you would just irritate you right now, or any specific? Tell you what, any specific player that irritated you, apart from Janino?
Plenty of them.
Name one.
No, there wasn't. Yeah, I didn't. No, there wasn't anyone that really irritated me, to be quite honest. I probably irritated them more than they irritated me.
Either that or it was a super Dazza Williams chant that was them instead. But okay, all right, Ollie, have you got a second one or not?
Yeah. Another thing I don't really understand is the player who doesn't want to be substituted. Is there the numbers are up on the board, and he knows his team, and he's walking away. Do you know what I mean? He's walking away, thinking, "Nah, he got it wrong." No, it's you. You haven't done nothing for 10 minutes. Get out, and then do you know what I mean? And a lot of players argue with the managers, like too many for me. It doesn't happen often, but it shouldn't happen at all. When your name get called, you're out. There's a reason why you're coming out. Do you know what I mean?
Could be worse. You could do what Kepa did.
What's that?
Kepa Aretha Malaga and keep at Chelsea.
Capital One Cup final, where you refused to come off.
Yeah.
Did he? He hopped.
The huge who are about it. It was Sarri was trying to get him off, wasn't he? And Aretha Blaga was having absolutely none of it.
To be fair, I think we should get rid of this passing notes on. To a pitch.
Oh,
1 second.
You've just plucked that one from the embers there, Darren. 2 minutes ago, you could think of the second one.
I mean, how disrespectful is that? How disrespectful is that? You've got to hand somebody a note because you think you might forget that.
He's thick.
Yeah.
Goes about
yeah. Or just to throw another one in there, when the manager sends a sub on with a note, and the sub, and I've seen this, and I don't know whether you guys have seen this, they don't put it down the sock, they eat it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why don't you just stick it down your sock? Is it that uncomfortable, this small bit of, paper? Can you not put it down that?
You just need to make sure that nobody sees it, innit?
Well, there's been instances where players have looked over the shoulder. Who was the player who... It could have been Bullard, actually. Was it Bullard?
There's one I've seen pinching it.
Yes, yeah. It's definitely an example of that. Can't remember it.
I've seen one where he's pinching it and running away with it, and he's telling everyone. That is one. I can't remember which one was.
I wouldn't care. It's only got a time and a place to meet on later on.
I'm sure it was the Chelsea. It was Mourinho. Was it not Man U? When
he nicked it.
It was not a Man U Chelsea.
So just while you're thinking, Ollie, Darren, I was actually going to choose yours, but Ollie has completely destroyed it in the sense that he's brought in this actually, it was me and partly Ollie that's brought in this whole bringing papers onto it because it makes me laugh. So I don't really want to see that bad. I know what you're getting at. I understand that. And that does irritate me. But the whole bringing notes on and chewing it up or sticking it in a sock or players trying to nick it off each other, I think that's brilliant. I encourage that. A game within a game.
I just think it's pathetic, honestly. But
oh, fantastic! Ollie, go on with what was yours again? Sorry, I'm losing track here.
What was it? Good question, Mark. What was it? Mark's got a brain.
Sorry, the audio's gone a bit funny. Sorry, what was that?
Falling apart. This is absolutely falling apart. What was your second?
What was my second one?
This is me buying time while I'm trying to think.
I know. Yeah. I wish I could cycle back in it, but I can't.
I always rely on Mark. Mark, what did I say? I always rely on you. What did I say?
Someone has to have the hand on the wheel on this programme, don't they? I was going to choose it as well.
People not want to come off on the sub.
People not want to come off. That's it. Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
But then you were going to say, no, I'll go with Mark's because his was better.
Well, actually, you've accelerated, but I was going to ask one question. What is the best tantrum that you've seen from a player coming off? And it can be a teammate, or in Mark's case, it can be a player that he's watched. What's the best tantrum from a player who didn't want to come off? Is Craig Bellamy going to be your choice, Ollie, or not? Nothing against Craig. He just was a feisty, competitive character, wasn't he? He didn't like to come off.
He didn't. I think it happened only twice.
Yeah.
And the first time it happened, it did kick off in the dressing room. Not at the manager, but he made sure the manager was there. And he proper hammered everyone and Alan Shearer with it. So
really?
So it was quite a fasty one. And then I remember the manager sneaked out and let him talk. They ignored it. But everybody was aware.
Wise man. Darren, have you witnessed a teammate kick off?
No, not really, no. I mean, I kicked off once when I got brought off against Bradford. Then when I really thought about it, I thought, to be fair, I was horrendous, so should have been brought off anyway.
What did your teammates say when you sat down on the bench after you got hauled off and you kicked off?
Well done, mate.
I didn't know when to get in the tunnel.
Oh, that's a fantastic. You know what? In the same way that Ollie completely destroyed your point, Darren, you've just destroyed Ollie's point. That makes me laugh. I love seeing players kick tantrums and everything like that. It's
honestly. Do you know what though? I did it, and I walked down the tunnel. It was at home against Bradford, actually.
Yeah.
And I walked down the tunnel, and I went in the dressing room, and I kicked my boots off and all that. So I slammed me locker door, and then I sat down, and when it just sinks in, and you think, oh no, I've got Peter Reid to come in at half time.
All the managers to do it to.
I know. Yeah.
What did he say?
I was thinking, do I go back out and sit on the bench, or do I get in?
Did you just stay inside, or you didn't go back out?
No, I crept back out and sat on the bench.
That's brilliant. What did Peter Reid say to you? Did he say anything or not?
Oh, he went off at the end with me massively. And I kind of I was building myself up inside, thinking I want to say something. I went, yeah, gaffer.
That's great.
I'll tell you one I can remember, which was probably more understandable than any, was Euro 92 when Gary Lineker got taken off against Sweden. He was 1 goal short of England's all-time record, and they brought on Alan Smith to replace and obviously cost him. That was his England career done. And he obviously he was unhappy about it, but completely understandably as well.
I still love that with you, Daz, just taking off and then slinking back onto the bench and hoping no one noticed.
You know the best thing, and Ollie's probably either done this or witnessed this, is as a player, you know, if you get dropped or something and you're like proper fuming in the dressing room, you go to all lads, I'm not having this, I'm not having that. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to tell the gaffer this. And you get in the office, you sit down, and he goes, yeah, like, hey, why did I get dropped, gaffer? And then he's like, because of that. I went, all right, okay. And then you get up and walk out. Then you get in the dressing room and go, yeah, I told him.
Nobby's done that a few times in the end. When he left for Villa, before he left for Villa, the manager always took him off for either Jenas or Boya. For some reason, he wasn't playing 90 minutes. And then all of a sudden, he's kicking off with us like, I don't get it. I need to go and speak to the manager. And we'll build him up. Come on, Nobby. Go and talk to the manager. He went in after training and came back. We were like, so what did he say? He said, nothing. I'm starting Saturday. He said, no, he was talking about tactics. He told me I'm starting Saturday. And everybody was kicking off. It's ridiculous, mate. And he went, well, do you know if you're starting Saturday?
I love the idea of Nobby sort of marching in, about to kick off, and then just being diffused completely by saying you're starting on Saturday. All right, no problem, Gaffer. Cheers.
That was the genius of Sir Bobby, though. His man management was.
No, it was class. It was class. But I mean, we built him up, and he was like, "I'm going now. Everybody was waiting for Nobby to come back. So what did he say? He said, "I'm starting Saturday." No, what did he say? Everybody proper having him. Like, what are you doing? Oh, you just, why didn't you say that? Why did you say this? He's like, do you know if you play Saturday? I don't know. He said, there we go. I know I play. And he left.
Point proven. Drop the mic, walk out of there. Nicely done.
That was Nobby all over.
Just to round it off with Darren and his tantrum. Ollie, did you ever get involved, not necessarily when you were sub, but did you ever get involved in a spat with a manager and then instantly regret it? Or did you ever back out of a spat with a manager or not?
No, not directly myself. There was a few players with managers, yeah.
Anyone that you want to elaborate on? Or?
No, I don't want. People's going to start hating me for telling tale.
It's all right, because then we can do another mean tweet segment next week. So.
But I think the one with there was a little altercation, I would say, with John Carver and Bellis.
All right.
Was that at the airport?
Yeah. Say no more. There we go.
No, come on. We're starting a little altercation. How? What was it over?
Ollie, is this the one at the airport?
Yeah. It's the one.
One of you's going to say something here.
No, but I was there. I didn't say a thing. It was quite amusing. It was quite amusing because they really wanted to fight in the middle of the airport. So it was quite funny. Luckily, we stopped it. So not much happened.
Who would you have?
There was a few words. Just over. I think Billis was criticising Geordie girls, I think.
All right.
Ollie,
Just for that.
Who's winning that fight?
There wasn't a fight.
No,
but hypothetically, if it come to blows,
who would?
Yeah,
no, JC would have got that. Yeah. No, JC would have got that.
I wouldn't have got up against him. There was one with John Carver, and it popped up on my Facebook memories the other day where I was saying this to Mark. We were doing an interview with a journalist, a well-respected journalist in the North East, a really, really good bloke. I'm not going to mention his name. But we were doing an interview on the final day of the season after the West Ham game, after Jonas Gutierrez scored. And John Carver, we were doing this interview with the journalist, and I asked him the question, what does the future hold, do you think, for John Carver as the manager? He clearly wants to stay on, etc. And the journalist was starting to get into a bit of a, he's not right for the club moving forward, etc. And he was about to start, sounding off a little bit on John, and all of a sudden the car pulls up behind him, and it's just outside of this Bobby Robson statue we were doing this interview. And the car rolls up behind him, and a window comes down. And I saw, it took me about 5 or 6 seconds. I thought it was just an onlooker. And it was John Carver and his missus in the passenger seat. And he was listening into this interview for about 15, 20 seconds, something like that, waving out of the window while this journalist was about to really go in on him. And eventually, I think the journalist had seen my eyes kind of like look past him just to give him the warning. And he looked around and was like, John Carver, shocked beyond all recognition. I think he got away with it just about. But interested to hear that John would have wiped the floor with Craig Bellamy. That's good. I'll be honest, I can't remember what the winner was. Mark, what was the one that you nominated? Not from Jack, from yourself.
It was players not celebrating against the former employers.
I shall go with that. The fact that a law came about it is one reason, and the fact that Darren diffused Ollie's and Ollie did exactly the same with Darren's. I think yours two were just
we cancel each other out.
You did. It was a 0-0. Call it a 0-0 or a 1-1 late draw. But I can't get rid of either of your twos because they do make me laugh on the pitch. So I think that one goes into room 101. The celebrating or non-celebrating against your former club definitely makes it. Lads, that has been an absolute pleasure to talk through. Sensational crack there. Even if room 101 is fictional, at the very, very least, we got some belting stories out, and we found out who won in a fight between John Carver and Craig Bellamy. And also that Daz has a hissy fit in him every now and again, but only until he faces up to Peter Reid afterwards.
To be fair, you can understand that.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm surprised you slunk back out onto the bench, Daz. If I'd have done that, I'd have jumped in my car and escaped.
I'm surprised that I lasted another 7 years there.
You and me both, mate. Well, that's absolutely sensational. We'll be doing one of these every week, not necessarily a Room 101, but we will be doing a different segment, which I'm sure that Darren and Ollie and Mark as well will be releasing their stories of yesteryear. So if you've enjoyed this one, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Footy Matters. We're on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Footy Matters TV. And of course, we have our podcast from our episode this week, where the big topic is, of course, racism in general, but racism in football. So do check that out. Check this out. And we'll see you again next Monday evening for another episode of Football Matters. From Mark, from Darren, from Ollie, it's goodbye. From me, Andy Sixsmith, it's goodbye. I absolutely ruined that ending, didn't I? But it didn't matter because I'm still laughing about the thought of Peter Reid chasing Darren Williams down a touchline. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you on Monday night. Bye for now.